Hello and welcome to RetroSpectives, a video game history and review. Today, the day that this video comes out, marks exactly 30 years since Sonic the Hedgehog 2 released, bringing with it the first well-known and first playable appearance of Miles Tails Prower. As many of you know, Tails is my favorite fictional character of all time. To celebrate this milestone, I figured I would make a short video about Tails. Not either of his games, although I will get to those eventually, but on the character himself, talking about the history of the character, his achievements in different media, my history with him, and what we can learn from him. Happy birthday, bud, here is your dedicated video. Sonic 1 was a huge hit that obviously warranted a sequel. Sonic 1 had many problems, so a sequel can give us more content and improve on problems. Okay, funny story, but we can only do one or the other. Sonic team split into two different teams, with each one making a sequel to the original game. The Japanese team made Sonic CD, obviously. It's a pretty alright game, but it has a lot of problems, maybe more than the first game. I have a lot to say about it. The brand new American team made Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Some people say that this is the best classic Sonic game. I'm in the S3K camp, but I have respect for the two lovers, especially since it introduced Tails! When designing the game, a large focus for the development team was adding a second player. They wanted a Luigi to Sonic's Mario, and followed up on Sonic's origin of a character creation contest within the company with a brand new one. The winner was Yasushi Yamaguchi, the original level designer and main artist for the first game. The idea was to have a trainee-mentor relationship with Sonic, but in modern games, it's more like a father figure, older brother relationship. They wanted him to be easier to play as, so newcomers could play with a more experienced gamer, resulting in his ability to fly. To rationalize this, he was given a second tail to use as a helicopter. All this combined to become Tails. The games mostly show Tails as a sidekick type character, just helping in the background of Sonic. He's definitely helpful, assisting Sonic to take down both Death Eggs, guiding Sonic to defeat Dark Gaia, and figure out the reasons for the Generations incident so the Sonics can save the day. But as you can see, it almost always involves Sonic. A few times, Tails does very helpful things that progress the story in a major way, like creating the false Chaos Emerald and translating the Wisps. Those are all great, already proving himself to be a more important and interesting character compared to others, like Amy. But sometimes, Tails proves himself to be equal to or greater than Sonic himself. Saving two different islands before even meeting Sonic and taking on Eggman mech to mech are his biggest two contributions in games. But other media shows even more. In Sonic X, he's practically the only one in Team Sonic to find any emeralds, and in Season 3, he helps everyone go to space and he falls in love with an alien. Cosmo was the last survivor of an alien species in the anime Sonic X's Season 3. She comes to Sonic's world asking for rescue from the evil being that killed her people, and throughout the season falls in love with Tails, before sacrificing herself in the final battle. The comics have many signs of Tails proving himself, but the biggest and most recent one is Tails inventing a cure to the metal virus, something that Eggman could not do despite making it in the new IDW run. Sadly, the cure was destroyed, but he was still instrumental in ultimately getting rid of the metal virus. Tails is just as powerful as Sonic and can do more than him. He simply does not get as many chances to prove himself as Sonic. I've been a fan of Tails from almost my entire life. My dad was a gamer when he was a kid, owning this very Sega Genesis, and I used to play it when I was young at my grandparents' house. I was fascinated with it, but as a toddler, I was no good at the games and needed my dad to help me. Because of this, I always played as player 2, Tails. He became my favorite character ever, and at the young age of 2, I got a stuffed doll of Tails. This only made my fascination with the little fox even greater. I took this doll everywhere, but eventually it became a problem. I took him to a restaurant and accidentally left him there when we were done. By the time we noticed the issue and returned, he was no longer there. I got a new Tails stuffed animal, and I love this one just as much. One night I played with the toy in my room before bed, and in the morning, it was gone. We looked everywhere, but the toy was completely missing. Even when we moved from the house, we could not find it. I got my final Tails stuffed animal when I was 5 years old, and I still have it to this day. In fact, it's the one right up there. Like I said before, I played the classic Sonic games in my grandparents' house, and this is the only way I could play as Tails in a video game. I had Sonic Colors for the Wii, but Tails was only in cutscenes. This all changed on my 6th birthday, when I got a Kindle Fire. This was the definition of a kid's tablet, and I loved it. I played Minecraft, Where's My Water, and of course the original Sonic games. I had the mobile versions of Sonic 1, CD, 2, and somehow an unofficial version of 3K. With this tablet, I was able to play as Tails whenever I wanted. I had no use for that old dusty TV in the upstairs that kind of scared and intrigued me. Unless I wanted to play Sonic and Knuckles, of course, since I was never good enough to make it that far on the Kindle. After this point, my love of gaming only grew, and I started playing more and more games. I still love the character of Tails, and I even played some Sonic games like Sonic Generations, but I just played other games. Later when I got my 3DS, I got the digital version of Tails Adventure, but I never beat the game because I didn't really understand the controls. I should revisit that sometime. That summarizes my experience with this sometimes yellow, sometimes orange little fox. One thing that I love about this character is his personality. He's kind-hearted and honest, smart and witty, and overwhelmingly powerful. He's a great role model for a young, witty, homeschool kid who wanted to and still wants to do good in the world. Tails found a mentor and followed him to save the world many times over. He uses his undeniable skills and brilliance to protect the world from those who wish to control it or do people harm. He's even smarter than the evil genius who has an IQ of 200 and has created technology of incredible power. Tails is the exception to the perceived notion of nature good, machines bad. He's always kind and thoughtful to everyone, always ready to be helpful and honest to whoever needs it. Everyone adores him, with the exception of the evil man that likes nobody. He's kept his friends and those he cares for alive through countless deadly scenarios, all because it's right. Tails is one of the best characters in all of fictional media, and my favorite character of all time. It's been 30 years since he was introduced, almost exactly double the time that I've been on this earth. And in that time, he has captured the hearts of millions. Happy birthday, Tails. Here's to many more.
Hello, and welcome back to the show Hidden Truth with me, your host, Finn Greyhelm. I have an exciting story lined up for us today, starting with the fact that Microsoft has created an AI. The purpose of this AI? To create video games. It's basically an AI photo generator, except much more high-powered, but takes a lot more time due to its complexity. The official statement says,
My name is Whaley Contreras, and I am proud to announce my life's work, codenamed the Entertainment Software Creation Automaton, which is perfectly encapsulating, as the name implies. It is a completely self-contained game creation tool. We simply put the past games in an existing franchise, a driving idea or two for a sequel, then we let it do its thing. Despite the overwhelming power of the supercomputer that is contained on, the process still takes about 2 months to work. We already have it creating the next Halo, Gears of War, and Forza games. That is all we have to announce today. Also, make sure to sign up for our news.
As you can see, this project is already quite far along. In addition to the fact that I don't believe it's possible that an AI can generate games better than a human can. I'm calling it now. The games are going to suffer. In other news, a meteor the size of Pluto has just hit the moon. If you wish to survive the moon rocks,